Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're taking a concept that usually gets buried deep in the IT department and decoding it into what it truly is. A crystal clear business and compliance imperative for senior leadership. If you're an executive looking to translate macro-level cyber risk into actionable, bottom-line mitigation strategies, you are in exactly the right place.
Okay, let's dive right in. Here is the agenda for our explainer today. 1. The trillion-dollar cyber threat. 2. What is a SIEM solution? 3. Mastering strict industry compliance. 4. The financial value of automation. And 5. Building your cyber resilience.
Section 1. The trillion-dollar cyber threat. Understanding the macro risk.
We have to start by framing the environment we're operating in, because modern cyber threats are literally an existential business threat. To anchor us in that reality, consider this staggering number: $10.5 trillion. According to research by Cybersecurity Ventures, that is the projected annual global cost of cybercrime by 2025. That is just a massive figure. It represents stolen data, debilitating operational downtime, reputational destruction, and lost revenue across the globe. When we are talking about risk at this scale, the traditional methods of defending your digital borders simply aren't going to cut it anymore.
So, what does this all mean? The crucial takeaway is that relying on reactive security, waiting for a breach to happen and then scrambling to respond, is a massive financial vulnerability for any organization today. Proactive cybersecurity measures are no longer just optional. They are an absolute, fundamental necessity to protect your digital assets. You have to be able to see the threat coming before it completely paralyzes your operations.
Moving on to Section 2. What is a SIEM solution? Defining the mitigation strategy.
Now that we understand the scale of the threat, let's demystify the ultimate defense: SIEM. It stands for Security Information and Event Management. Essentially, it's a system that aggregates and correlates data across your organization's entire IT infrastructure to provide real-time analysis and alerting on potential security incidents. Think of it like the centralized nervous system of your business's digital body. It is constantly feeling, monitoring, and spotting abnormalities in real time, allowing you to react before a minor anomaly becomes a catastrophic breach.
How does it actually pull this off? Well, it's all about visibility. A SIEM solution aggregates data from wildly disparate sources: your firewalls, your intrusion detection systems, all your application logs. By pulling these scattered data streams into one comprehensive view and applying advanced algorithms and machine learning, it identifies threat patterns that a human eye would literally never catch. It centralizes all your security-related information, meaning the risk of an attack going unnoticed in some dark corner of your network is drastically minimized.
Which brings us to Section 3. Mastering strict industry compliance, using compliance as armor.
Let's step into the critical arena of regulatory adherence. Whether you're in healthcare, finance, or retail, frameworks like GDPR, HIPAA, and PCI DSS are entirely unforgiving. Falling short on HIPAA can mean devastating penalties and even personal liability. And GDPR fines? They can consume a massive percentage of your global revenue. These strict industry regulations unconditionally require the kind of strong, continuous security monitoring that a SIEM provides. It achieves this through centralized log management. Now, I know log management sounds like a mundane IT task, but actually, scratch that. It is the vital audit trail that protects your company's reputation and bottom line. When an auditor comes knocking, or if a forensic investigation is required, your SIEM has already collected, standardized, and safely stored all that necessary log data. It proves your due diligence, acting as a direct shield against the costly fines and reputational destruction tied to non-compliance.
Let's look at the numbers in Section 4, the financial value of automation, measurable ROI.
As C-suite leaders, you absolutely need to see a direct return on investment, and the data we're seeing is striking. Once a potential threat is detected, modern SIEM systems trigger automated responses. A study highlighted in our source material found that organizations using this automation experienced an average cost savings of $3.81 million per data breach compared to those without it. That is an immediate, massive ROI derived entirely from shrinking the time between threat detection and mitigation.
And the business world is definitely waking up to this value. According to a study by Markets and Markets, the global SIEM market is expected to reach a valuation of $5.5 billion by 2025, growing at a compound annual growth rate of 5.5%.
This kind of growth is a direct reflection of the increasing complexity of the cyber threat landscape and an urgent recognition across industries that proactive SIEM measures are highly effective investments.
Finally, Section 5, Building Your Cyber Resilience, the Implementation Roadmap.
So understanding the value of a SIEM is one thing, but how do you actually implement it? Notice the massive gap we're dealing with in the industry right now. 53% of organizations report a problematic shortage of cybersecurity skills. You might have the budget for a SIEM, but if you don't have the internal expertise to deploy, configure, and monitor it, you are still leaving your organization exposed. This skills gap is, without a doubt, the biggest hurdle to effective implementation.
And this is exactly where partnering with proven experts like Lumiverse Solutions becomes a strategic necessity. Their methodology solves that skills gap directly. Step 1. A thorough assessment of your specific IT infrastructure and risk profile, because out-of-the-box approaches rarely work. Step 2. Seamless integration that minimizes operational disruption. Step 3. Strict adherence to industry best practices to minimize those annoying false positives. And Step 4. Honestly, the most crucial part, knowledge transfer and training. They don't just hand you a black box. They empower your existing staff to run the SIEM effectively over the long term.
Because ultimately, a properly implemented SIEM does way more than just block attacks in the moment. It offers advanced analytics and highly customizable dashboards that give your leadership team incredibly valuable insights. By identifying trends and analyzing this data, you can make informed, data-driven decisions that continuously improve your overall security effectiveness and boldly inform your broader, long-term business strategy.
Which leaves us with one final critical question. For every leader watching, are you waiting for a breach to force your hand, or are you proactively building your cyber resilience today? Given the financial data, the strict compliance requirements, and the sheer scale of the threat, the answer is pretty obvious. It is time to take control of your security posture. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer.